Right, I'm just putting wallpaper paste on the wall for my first panel. So I've drawn my plumb line and I'm going to paste over the plumb line, almost like halfway to where the next panel of wallpaper is going to be. So I'm just going to put this on the wall. So I'm going to roller where the main panel is, and then I'm going to use a brush to do the edges. I'm just putting some wallpaper paste onto the wall. So I've used the roller to do the main bit of where the first panel of wallpaper is going to go, and then I'm using a normal emulsion brush just to go to the very edges around the top and the sides of the wall. I'm going to put up the first roll of wallpaper, the first panel. So I've cut all the panels out and I have measured my plumb line, which is that line there, which is slightly narrower than the panel, and we're making sure that the first panel of wallpaper is straight. So I'm going to line up the edge against this pencil mark and then I'll trim off the excess. I'm only going to go down this side to start with. I'm just going to go all the way down, just following the pencil line as carefully as possible, and then I'll go along and smooth it into the corners in a minute. I'm just going to smooth across. I'm going to go from right to left. I'm going to use this, which is definitely worth getting one of these. It's a dry like wallpaper brush, and it's just really good for smoothing out any air bubbles as well, and it's good for pushing it up into the corners as well. Right, so that's the first panel up, and I'm just going to trim the edges with the Stanley knife and metal ruler next. Just going to trim all the edges. I'll just show you doing the top one, but I'll trim down the side and the bottom edge as well with a Stanley knife. Make sure you've got a really sharp Stanley knife blade so you can cut the wallpaper really cleanly. Okay, you've got the clean edge at the top. So I'm on the second to last one now. So I'm going to find the match of the repeat and start down the left hand edge and go all the way down, matching up that edge, and then I'm going to smooth the wallpaper across to the right. So I'll start and find the bit closest to the top that I can match up and work down from there. So what I've done when I've cut the panels, I've re-rolled them backwards just because it's kind of easier to work with them slightly rolled up rather than when they're in like long sheets. So I'm going to find the top match here. So it's this bit of the map. And match as best I can. And just gently press there. And then work my way down this join really slowly because it does kind of move around a bit. Just on this join to start with before I start smoothing it across really slowly. And it should match pretty perfectly. Okay, now I've done that join, I'm going to work across with the cloth. Just smoothing it really gently across just to get out any air bubbles. And I'm going to go up and down from left to right. And then I'm going to work over it with the brush, the dry brush, the wallpaper brush, so just to get rid of any more air bubbles and just smooth it out a bit. And then I've got this, which is a seam roller. So I'm just going to go roll along the seam just to make sure it's all like pushed in neatly and stuck properly. And yeah, it's ready to trim.